Hey guys, I wanted to talk today about the art of reflection, and this is going to be a short and sweet video, but nonetheless an extremely important one, I think, to move forward in your entrepreneurial journey or life, right, in general. Now, it's a skill that people must foster inside of their beings in order to be able to produce a truthful and honest result for themselves. Now, we all get knocked down. We all get knocked out, right? And you can use this in the boxing analogy, right? So if I'm in a match and I get knocked down or I get knocked out, that's okay. But I must have the cognitive ability to sit down afterwards and unpack the reasons why, right? Reflection. I have to reflect. Why did I get knocked down? Why did I get knocked out? And how can I change what I'm doing so that doesn't happen to me again? Now, it's the same thing when it comes to business. You're going to get knocked out many, many times. You're going to get knocked down, trodden on, and walked all over many, many times. Business is not easy. Business is difficult, and you will come up against extreme hardships, massive mindset tests, and failures all the time. It's going to happen to you all the time. It honestly happens to me almost daily. Even at the level I'm at now as an entrepreneur, there's always something that goes wrong on an almost daily basis in one of my companies that I need to deal with. Now, the reason that I'm able to overcome these things is because I have procedures in place for when these things go wrong. And we also want to preempt these things and make sure that they don't go wrong next time. But when they do, we have procedures in place because we have sat down and reflected on the reasons why these things go wrong, and we have made procedures to quickly and efficiently overcome these things and move on with our daily dealings. So it's a very difficult skill because people find it extremely hard to be honest with themselves, right? But it's paramount to your success as an entrepreneur, as a boxer, as in life, to be able to reflect with honesty, to not point the finger to external forces and say, it was that, I got no control over that. And you don't. Every time you point the finger externally, you give away all of your power. You have no control over that external force, and it's basically an excuse. That external force caused this to happen upon me, therefore I have no control. I can't put a procedure in place to overcome this thing next time because it was that, not me. Had nothing to do with us, and therefore when that happens again, the only response I have is to point the finger again. Does that sound like a productive way to run your business, to run your life? Right? Of course not. So you really need to sit down in honest reflection. Now, the way that I do this is I like to go into the diffuse state of mind, right? If you guys have seen my videos, I've talked about this before. We have two states of mind. The focused state, which we use when we're focusing on focused tasks that require cognitive brain power. And then you have the diffuse state of mind, which is the state of mind that we just basically, it's almost like a meditation, but you don't have to sit there arming and ahhing, right? It's just a switch off. Go for a walk, go sit in the park, listen to the birds, have a quiet sit down with yourself, whatever it may be. Who was it? Can't remember. A great inventor. There was a great inventor from the past. He used to sit down in a soundproof room, and he would have two ball bearings in his hands, and he would spin them around and around until he fell asleep. And when he fell asleep in his chair, the ball bearings would hit the ground, and they would go cling and shock him to wake up. And he did this whenever he was stumped on something, using that focused thought too much, being stumped on an issue. He would go in there, get into that diffuse state of mind, wake up, and have the solution. Now, that's an art of reflection, right? He's reflecting on, in a diffuse state of mind, reflecting on the solution to this problem. Now, you can also reflect on the solution to this problem in a focused state of mind, really trying to unpack the problem. But what I would suggest is get into that diffuse state of mind and reflect on why the problem happened in the first place, and then go ahead, pull up a spreadsheet, switch to the focused state of mind, and write a procedure to overcome that problem, or even better yet, preempt that problem next time. But guys, you must must be honest with yourself. You must take self-accountability, or this won't work, and you will find yourself going around and around on the treadmill, you know, in the rat race for the rest of your life. This is one of those things that is required to become a successful entrepreneur, right? To be able to look at oneself and be honest with oneself about your shortcomings, and be able to then, once you've been honest, right, that's the first step, be able to then switch to that focused state of mind and write a procedure, a policy, and preempt this thing next time so you can overcome it whenever an obstacle comes your way again. And this, guys, is how you actually win, right? This is how you win. If you've been a person who's always pointed at external forces, then you know what to do now to change these habitual patterns in your life that keep you down, right? Now, I'm not saying that external forces never play a part in issues arising and obstacles coming your way. Of course they do, but they don't matter because you can't control them. You can only control you, what you do, your procedures, your stuff, whatever it may be. And so that's what you should focus on, and always look within. All right, guys, you'll have a good day.